Welcome back to Man Now Sports. As you can see from the thumbnail, I'm trying to finish up. I'm not trying. I am going to finish up this Ty Lue interview that he did on Club Shay Shay. I think I already covered, how he kind of described his time with Michael Jordan with the Wizards and his greatness and what he was able to witness and how he was able to, learn some things from him and his time playing with Kobe and Shaq and how he would impart some of those wisdoms on to players like Kawhi Leonard, he talked about all of that. And I think it was really the really good part about that interview was when he talked about his time in Cleveland with LeBron and how he viewed the Golden State Warriors and how he was able to, overcome a 3-1 deficit in the finals against the Warriors, like what their strategy was and all that stuff. So I really wanted to do this one live. The other ones I did, I wasn't live, so I do this one live. I take phone calls and all of that good stuff. I know it's very late and it's not usual for me to be this late, but it's fine. Man, if everybody had to catch this on a playback, so be it. But for those of you who are up, or for those of you who are somewhere else in the world where it's daytime, welcome to the stream. And it's good that y'all can catch me live, man, because if I'm not this late, there's some people in parts of the world that won't catch me live. So it gives some new people an opportunity to call in, man. But this is going to be a good one, man. Amazing 15. I see you. I see you straight from me. 92. I see you in there, American free man. I see you. Salute to all of y'all, man. Thank y'all for being here this late. Hopefully y'all call in because I want to have a conversation for sure. This is going to be good. So I think what I'm going to start with is I want to start with him just talking about the Golden State Warriors, coming back from 3-1, how he viewed Steph and KD, and what his strategies was and all that stuff, man. Very good. If y'all haven't seen the whole interview, you definitely got to head over to Club Shay Shay, watch the whole interview. But I kind of wanted to break down some of that stuff. And then after I get on the Golden State Warriors portion of it, then we get to the his perspective on the Cleveland portion of it and LeBron and Kyrie. Very good stuff, right? So let's get started, man. Let's hear what he said about this 3-1 deficit that he had to overcome.
You orchestrated the greatest comeback in finals history, down 3-1 to a guy he was the first guy to be a unanimous MVP, and 2 of the last 3 games were on the road. How do you lie to them? You got to lie. Sometimes coaches tell us all the time. Sometimes guys, they got to lie to you. How do you lie to them and tell them they really got a chance to win this?
What's crazy is that I swear to God, I thought that we can win. Like, even when we were down 3-1, I thought that we could win. What?
You had just lost. You had just went down 3-1 at your home court, Ty Lue.
But I'm saying we lost the 2 games we lost first, we got blown out.
Yeah.
We win game 3.
Yes.
We should have won game 4. We tricked it out the last 2 minutes of the game.
Right.
Right. So we go down 3-1, and I'm like, we still have opportunity to win this. Like, we still can win. I really believed it, but we had to make some tweaks, and we made some adjustments. And we just had to make some tweaks defensively, and we made those tweaks. Like I said, I give JR, Shump, and all those guys credit for what we was able to do to change our strategy, because if you play Golden State the way they play, their pace and how fast they play, you don't know until you're in it.
Right.
You can't go to practice and work on stuff.
You can't replicate that.
Can't do it. And so I saw that when you switching everything, they're going to pick you apart.
Right.
Like Draymond with his passing, Steph and Klay with their movement, like, you just can't switch everything. And so after game 4, I was like, listen, when Steph and Klay come together, splits and all that, we switching it. Anybody else, you stand locked in. So it won't be no confusion. If we make a mistake, we're going to make a mistake on, the other guys.
Yeah.
We ain't going to make a mistake on these guys. And so it worked. Like, JR and Shump locked in Steph and Klay. Like, if you go on Iguodala, Livingston, you pushing up, you just protecting, and like, it changed our whole series. Like, it changed it. And then the performance that Bron and Kyrie had in game
6.
No.
Game 5. They
Game
both
5.
scored 41.
Yeah. And in the game 5, and like going home for game 6, like, I thought we warmed down. And then game 7, you got the best player in the world going into game 7. You got to love your chances.
Right.
So the reason why that's important for me for this channel is because I've done a couple of videos on Golden State and Steph Curry, and I've always said Kevin Durant showing up to Golden State was a godsend for them. I've said it. Isaiah Thomas has said it. Draymond Green has said it. There's a lot of people who has that belief that the progression and the trend that was happening with Golden State and the trend we've seen in the NBA so many times, there are some teams that can rise to stardom and can be great, and they get one ring, and then getting back to get a second ring is not that easy, right? And then all of a sudden their championship window closed because so much stuff is happening around them. So many other players are rising up to reach their potential. Teams are rising up to reach their potential. Other teams are getting free agents and other players. So it's so much stuff that's going on around you. When you got a chance to get something done, try to win as many as possible because your window can close very fast. And what people believe is that Golden State window was closing or had closed once they lost that 3-1 lead to Cleveland, and teams figured out how to guard the Warriors and Steph Curry, because it was almost like what the Warriors was doing was like the Wildcat offense in football. Like when the Wildcat came out, not even the great Bill Belichick and his defense could stop it. He was very vulnerable to that Wildcat when he played Miami twice a year. Ricky Williams and Ronnie Brown was lighting them up, right? And it took a while for that Wildcat for people to figure it out. But once they figured out the Wildcat, then it's nobody uses it no more, right? So Golden State was that team. I mean, they came out, blitzed everybody one year. Steph got the MVP. Came out the next year, got a unanimous MVP and won 73 games. But teams started to figure them out in the playoffs, starting with OKC. That's why they was down 3-1, but they overcame it. And then they get to the finals and blow a 3-1 lead, right? Teams really had figured them out. The blueprint was there, right? If they would have came back with that same squad or something similar, with Steph having to do what he had to do in order for them to win, it's going to be very hard for them to get back to the finals. And you hear what Ty Lue is saying. He's saying, like, we knew we could beat them. Like, we knew we could beat them. Like, so we wasn't even worried when we was down 3-1. Like, imagine not being worried when you down 3-1. Imagine saying we lost the first two games in Golden State. They blew us out. We won game 3 at home, and then we should have won game 4 at home, but we tricked it off with the last 2 minutes, and then we go back to Golden State down 3-1 for game 5. But he said we still felt like we could win. I thought that was interesting. I'm gonna tie all of this into you because I play for you what Draymond Green said about it. I already told you what Isaiah Thomas said about it on the previous show. He said, "Man, I really do feel like y'all legacy was saved by Kevin Durant showing up," and that was true.
Is this true about the money that you put up in the ceiling?
Yeah.
Or you made that up?
No, it's true.
You knew that you knew after winning game 5 that you guys were coming back for game 7.
Yeah.
Because you didn't feel there was no way they could beat you in game 6 in your building.
I didn't think so. And so after game 5, our owners and front office people, they all in the locker room, everybody's going crazy, we hype, whatever. So I walk in the locker room, I said, "All right, everybody give me $200." I was like, "What?" I was like, "Everybody give me $200. I'm gonna put it in the ceiling, and we coming back for game 7 and get our money." And so everybody, "Oh yeah," they going crazy. So everybody gives 200. The owner, Dan Gilbert, Nate Forbes, they all give money, put it up in the ceiling. But I got it from Doc, because Doc did it. We played the Lakers in LA,
right,
Christmas Day, and they blew us out.
Right.
And Doc said, "Listen, y'all remember this. Remember how it feels, because we're gonna play them in the NBA Finals, and we come back to get our money." And we hid it in the attic. I mean, in the ceiling.
Right.
Came back and it was there. And Doc passed the money out. The only difference with me, I kept it. Come on, kid, Lue. Hey, and I'm gonna tell you how crazy Bron is, how tight he is. So we win the championship. We just won. Man, they in the locker room, they spraying champagne. Bron like, "Man, where that 200 at?" I'm like, "Come on, man. We just won. You won by 2." I said, "Man, I think this ball boy stole it. It ain't in there no more." You know what I'm saying? So I kept that. Yeah, I deserved it.
Man, come on, bro. 200.
He wanted it. He wanted it back. He wanted it back. I wasn't giving it back though.
All right, that was funny toward the ends, but he's explaining. So after we won Game 5 in Golden State, right? So they lose Game 1 and 2 in Golden State. They win Game 3 in Cleveland. They lose Game 4 in Cleveland. Then they go back to Golden State for Game 5 and they win it. And at that moment, based on what they was doing defensively, they figured it out, right? They figured it out and was like, it's a wrap. And he was so confident going back to going back to Cleveland for Game 5. Game 6. Going back to Cleveland for Game 6 with the series 3-2. Before they left the Golden State locker room, after they beat them on their own floor, they put money in the ceiling and said, we'll be back here for Game 7 to get our money. Right? Because he said he was that confident that they were not going to beat them in Cleveland for Game 6. Like, he was that confident, right? Based on what adjustments that he had made, he was that confident that they was not going to beat them, right? So the type of adjustments they made, really, if you watch that series, they really put a bigger body on Steph Curry, a bigger guard where there was Iman Shumpert, J.R. Smith. They put those bigger guards on him. J.R. Smith is a 6'5" guy, and so is Shumpert, both 6'5", both athletic, both strong, and also both quick enough to run with Steph Curry. So you put those guys on them, and Ty Lue's talking about how they did their switching differently. They only switch on Steph and Klay if they're using a 1-2 screen or a some type of split action they was trying to do. They'll switch on those things, but everybody else they wouldn't switch on. You'd stay home on those players, and you kind of trail them or follow them, right? So the adjustments they made, it shut Steph down to a T where, I mean, he probably could still get his numbers a little bit, but he was gonna struggle for it. On top of the fact that we got this bigger guy or these bigger guards on him, and we're wearing on him quarter 1, quarter 2, quarter 3, quarter 4, and then when it gets to the final minutes, if the game is close in the fourth quarter, a shooter like Steph Curry, who needs to get his shot off from the 3 most of the time, like, that's his shot. That's his shot. That's the shot he was looking for when he got the switch after Kyrie hit the shot in Game 7, and then Steph tried to come back and do something with it, and he got the switch with Kevin Love, and he couldn't even really beat Kevin Love to go get a shot. He didn't want to go down there with the trees, so he really was dancing up at the top of the key trying to get space enough to throw up a 3-point shot, and Kevin Love defended him so well he couldn't even get he could barely get the 3-point shot off. Right? That's a tough one when your best player, best shot is a 3. So now when you're giving the ball, we need a bucket right now. Give you the ball, move out of the way. We don't want nothing complicated. We don't want to bring no screen, because if we bring a screen, they're just going to W you and get the ball out of your hand, and then we're forcing somebody lesser than you to get the win for us. So a lot of times when you need that bucket, it's going to have to look like what Kyrie Irving did. Get me one-on-one, I'm getting this shot off, and we're going to live with the results, right? With Steph, is like, I mean, everybody knows the 3. So even if he try to act like he trying to drive to the hole, we want you to drive. We want you to drive, but he don't want to drive. He want the 3. That's his shot. That was his go-to shot at that time. Maybe it's a little bit different now, but that's what it was then, right? So, yeah, they were confident. Going back to Golden State, down 3-2, they were confident that they was going to win. I'm sorry, not going back to Golden State, going back to Cleveland for Game 6, down 3-2. They was confident they was going to win Game 6, and they was also confident they was going to win Game 7, and that's what happened.
Had LeBron and Kyrie stayed together, they win another championship?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And I think, also think if KD doesn't go to Golden State.
Oh, yeah, but they had to get it.
Yeah.
They had to get him. They were never going to beat you guys again, Ty Lue.
Yeah. If KD doesn't go to Golden State, I think we win
3 in a row.
And I think Kyrie stayed because
Yeah.
you can't leave after that.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? And so I think he stays, and I think like I said, we had a chance to win 2 or 3.
What did you guys need when he goes to the war?
So I'm gonna stop it there. The question was, if Kyrie don't leave, do you think LeBron James and the Cavs get another ring? And he said, of course. But he said, but especially if KD doesn't go to Golden State, that was the reason why they couldn't get nothing else. KD went there. I'm sorry about that. My glasses. Once KD went to Golden State, that made them unbeatable almost. You know, because of KD, they wasn't unbeatable with just Steph. They were not. I mean, the playoffs showed that they win 73 games in the regular season, lose 9 games, and they get in the playoffs and they lose 9 games in the playoffs. Like, imagine losing the same amount of games in the playoffs that you lost in the regular season. I mean, that's a lot of losing. You almost get put out by OKC Thunder. You down 3-1 to them, and then you blow a 3-1 lead in the finals. This is the same playoffs. That's 2 teams you took 7 L's to, 4 from Cavs and 3 from OKC. That's just 2 rounds, right? So they lost the same amount of games that in the regular season that they did in the playoffs. And I keep seeing all these comments, oh, the Cavs wasn't going to beat Golden State, and Golden State this, and Stephanie was hurt. No, I reject your deposit. As a matter of fact, Draymond don't even agree.
But the reality is I don't think that team wins another championship if Kevin doesn't come. Now, you may say, oh, yeah, but y'all won the 4th one without Kevin. But there's a gap in there where teams started to figure us out. We would not have beat the Cavs coming back around without Kevin. And here's why. Teams have figured us out. And I personally don't think at that point Steph Curry had figured out, I'm going to get a bucket whenever I want to. I don't think he was capable of that yet. I think he was still growing into that. And so because of that, once teams started to figure our offense out, we were starting to struggle more and more. I'm not sure if you remember that series of OKC where we were down 3-1 and we had to come back. And that's because teams had started to figure it out. We got to a point where we needed to be able to give someone the ball that can just go get a bucket. And Kevin was already there. I don't think Steph was there yet. So it gets us through those 2 years. We get those 2 championships. But while we're doing that, Steph is continuing to work and evolving, and most importantly, becoming the strongest dude on our team. And to this day, he's the strongest guy on the team. And that allowed him to score whenever he wanted because you can no longer bump him off his path.
Kyrie shot.
Right. So according to Draymond Green, he didn't even think they would get another ring if KD didn't show up. He said who Steph needed to be to defeat the way the teams was going to defend him after the Cavs and OKC Thunder showed everybody the blueprint on how to defend Steph and the Golden State Warriors. He didn't think that they was going to get another ring if Kevin Durant doesn't show up. And I go a step further. This is the same thing I've been saying. This is what Ty Lue just said. This is what Draymond just said. This is what Isaiah Thomas said. But for some reason, Steph fans and Golden State Warriors fans don't want to accept that. They don't want to accept it. If they didn't need KD, they wouldn't have went and got him. If they didn't need him, they wouldn't have gotten him. They got him because they knew they needed him. They knew they wasn't getting past the Cavs. But in their mind, they wasn't just getting past the Cavs. But they thought they was gonna get out of the West. But how? How was you gonna get out of the West? I don't think Kevin Durant comes back with OKC Thunder and lose to y'all if they see y'all. I really don't. I think the Thunder handle y'all, and I think they do it in probably 5 or 6 games. I think it's light work. And then after that, they breaking the squad up. I think if Kevin Durant chose to leave OKC Thunder and go to Houston to play with Harden, I think Houston get y'all up out of here. I think if Kevin Durant decided, you know what, let me be really grimy and let me go with sign and go sign with San Antonio. I don't know if San Antonio had the cap space at the time, but what if they did? Let me go to San Antonio. I think he could have went to Houston for sure. He could have done it. He could have stayed in OKC, or he could have went to Houston. You get what I'm saying? I mean, sure. If he really wanted to be grimy, he could have went and played with Cleveland, sign and trade with Kevin Love. You get what I'm saying? So the big piece was Kevin Durant. Where he was going, was he staying, or was he going somewhere to a contender? And that was really go shut Golden State down. That was a wrap. And Draymond Green just admitted Steph wasn't who he needed to be at that time. It took Steph it took Steph to play with Kevin Durant for 3 years, right? To see some of that. I'm pretty sure they rubbed off on each other. Steph had to grow, and then he said Steph got a little stronger as well, because the physicality was really bothering him with the Cavs. Right? So everyone always talks about how Steph gravity pulls so much attention and so much defense and so much double teams, and then Klay shooting, give spacing. And, Kevin Durant showing up on that squad, he had more space than he would ever have anywhere else to actually be the great one-on-one player that he is. And that's true. But with Kevin Durant being there and the Golden State Warriors having the ability to say, well, if you're going to play Steph like that, like Cleveland played him in the finals, if you're going to play Steph like that, that's fine. Beat him up, all that stuff. But we ain't got to rely on him. We can just throw the ball to Kevin. So now we're trying to run all our stuff, because everything is predicated off what Steph is doing, running off all these screens, doing all this. And the freedom of movement just wasn't there in the finals and in the playoffs, especially against Cleveland, because they was bumping him off his path. A lot of stuff that Reggie Miller and Rip Hamilton had to deal with, Steph ain't really had to deal with it, because freedom of movement is a thing in the league now. So when they used to run off those screens in the 90s, that was getting shoulder check, elbow, they was getting bumped, all that stuff. They wasn't just go let you get a free run off a screen to the arc for a catch and shoot. Now you go feel bodies, multiple bodies, and we gonna be holding you. We're gonna be holding you. If face guarding you, it's gonna be a lot of hand wrestling. And if I'm trailing you, I'm gonna be pulling your shirt, your jersey, or something like that, your elbow. You have to fight out for that, and the referee's gonna allow it. So when they was able to guard Steph like that, it shut down the whole Warriors offense enough to where they wasn't the people that was in the driver's seat no more. It was the team with the defense and the offense. It was the Cavs. And Ty Lue figured that out. LeBron and them figured it out. Shump figured it out. And they knew that Golden State didn't have nothing else for them. So Golden State had to make that Kevin Durant move. He had to. Absolutely had to. Right? Here's another thing that they found out about Steph. He was scared of Kyrie Irving. So not only are we beating you up on the offensive end when you're trying to run off screens, and not only are we defending you full court to where you got to work for everything, and we're doing that for the purpose of, this is a 7-game series, 4 quarters each game, and our plan is to beat you up so much, make you work so hard for all your shots. By the time we get to the 4th quarter, you've been a jump shooter. Everything we have done in these first 3 quarters should be working against you as a jump shooter. You need your legs. And we've been wearing your legs out all game long. We hitting them, everything. Your legs are going to be heavy. And now you got to make jump shots, because that's what you are as you're a shooter. You got to rely on it. And we're wearing you out. And then that's the game plan for the game and also for the series, because now we get to game 7 and you might feel like that. The way you felt in the 4th quarter for all those games, you probably could feel like that the entire game 7, because by the time we get there, we done beat you up really, really good. Right? Kevin Durant relieves that pressure off of Steph, because now we can't just do that and win, because Kevin go get 35, 40 on you. And we don't have no answer for that. They had an answer for Steph, but they don't have an answer for KD. So they're helping each other out, whether people want to admit it or not. But listen to how Shump talk about the other thing that that they did. Now, so we're beating you up on defense, we're wearing you out on defense, but also we're making you defend as much as possible. You're going to defend. You're going to defend Kyrie. We know you're trying to hide from Kyrie, but you're going to defend Kyrie.
The step back right.
So when the,
Was
it the truth in the huddle? He told Ty Lue, "Give me the ball," or is that just urban legend?
He told Ty Lue to give him the ball. Like, this was early in the fourth.
He was frying though. He was frying.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He was
frying.
early in the fourth. He said he wanted the ball because Bron wanted he wanted a 3-1 screen. Bron was he like
Steph?
Yeah, he the biggest like matchup nigga. Bron will play chess with you. It be stone cold too. Crowd be quiet. He be at the top like, no, make him. Like him. Like, no, he gonna play. Like, no, he gonna play today. He'd be like, whoa, buddy. Like, whoa, calm down. But he be dead serious. So he brought that over, and we realized Steph wasn't trying to match up with Kai. I don't remember the foul situation or what it was, but all we took it as like, oh, you scared of dude? You scared of buddy? So we just fed him. If Steph came and guarded me, if they tried to do a triple switch, whatever they tried to do, I say, bro, if I go down here and I set this screen and Steph switch off and try and go on me while I'm in the corner, I'm going to bring my screen up too. And now you got a double screen, but you finna have to guard Kyrie. And once we knew that, at the end of that, like, I mean, if you watch film, you knew Kyrie, he going to get to that right wing and he going to punish you. Right? But if you watch film, you know that. I just don't feel like they watched enough of it. Dude was trying to, he Kobe in his mind.
Didn't
100%.
Didn't Klay say that was one of the biggest regrets of his career was switching that screen? I think Klay came out and said that was the biggest one of the biggest regrets of my career was switching that screen.
Klay in his mind, he like, I know exactly what he can do.
I don't care if it was Klay, Gary Payton, whoever was on that wing was getting cooked on that shot, nigga. I don't give a damn who it was.
For sure, but I'm saying like I know that energy that Klay talking about, where it's like I knew good and well. I know what this is. I know what's about to happen, and now I gotta watch it on TV.
Yeah.
So we go hear Ty Lue talk about what they were saying during the timeout before that game when the shot Kyrie hit over Steph, right? But Shumpert is telling you, like, we figured out that Steph didn't really want to, like, not only did Steph didn't want to guard Kyrie, the coaching staff didn't want Steph to guard Kyrie. They knew it was dog food. They knew he was cooked every time he got on Kyrie. And then on the other end, Kyrie was that first game where he messed his kneecap up, the one that Golden State won the year before. Kyrie was in, I mean, he outplayed Steph on both ends of the floor. Outplayed him. And I was rooting for Golden State and Steph. I couldn't stand the Cavs. I couldn't stand Kyrie. I couldn't stand LeBron. Right? That's not why I was rooting for Golden State. I was rooting for Golden State because, you know, I followed Steph for a long time, ever since Davidson, right? Like that's my guy. Like, you know, Steph is, you know, that's my guy. Right? So I'm rooting for Golden State the whole time. The entire time. And I just couldn't understand, man, why is Kyrie doing stuff like this? I thought Steph was just head and shoulders better than Kyrie. Like, I really did not understand how good Kyrie was, even though I watched that man play. I guess I didn't watch him enough. I did not understand Kyrie was that good until the finals. That game one is when I was like, hold on. These dudes are neck and neck even. They got different games, but they neck and neck. I did not know Kyrie was that good. The playoffs taught me that. But I still didn't like him. I still was rooting for Steph. Beer and Joints is in his feelings. He said, shut up, Mel. They almost got swept 4-1 without Durant. And Durant almost swept them 4-1. When he was on OKC. So I mean, what does that mean? They almost got swept 4-1 by Kevin Durant. If you want to take credit for them losing in the finals and blowing a 3-1 lead, then you on the flip side say, oh, but they almost got swept 4-1. Are we doing that? Or are you just in your feelings and you just trying to throw something to the wall and see if it stick? Right? Is that what you're doing? Let me know. Let me know what we're doing. They almost swept them 4-1, but they blew a 3-1 lead. Are we doing that? Because I need to know how we need, like, if we go be fair across the board, let me know what we're doing with this almost thing with them blowing a 3-1 lead in the finals so I can apply that same logic to OKC Thunder and Kevin Durant. Let me know what we're doing, big dog. Let me know what we're doing. And here you go again in his feelings, trying to say negative things about Kevin Durant like that has anything to do with the topic we're talking about. The topic we're talking about is if Kevin Durant don't show up, the Warriors don't get another ring. That's the topic. And that's actually true, right? That's 100% true, right? Everything else is irrelevant. Oh, yeah, but Kevin Durant hair wasn't combed. Irrelevant. Don't care. I don't care. All I care about is the Warriors got figured out. They blew a 3-1 lead in the finals. They choked up a 3-1 lead in the finals. Steph choked. Steph wasn't ready. His own teammate, Draymond Green, said he wasn't ready, and they needed Kevin Durant. What else we talking about? Isaiah Thomas said the same thing. Ty Lue said the same thing. What else did Ty Lue say?
Goes to the Warriors. What did Cleveland need to combat that? Because I don't believe without KD. I believe without KD, they're not going to beat you again.
Yeah.
After you beat them at 2016, coming back from 3-1, I don't believe they can beat you again.
I think we had the blueprint on how to beat them. Like Steve Kerr's a mastermind, so he probably figured something out. But I thought we had the blueprint. But for us, probably I would say like a dominant center. Like a guy you can throw the ball to,
dump it down to him and punish him inside.
Yeah, so Draymond's not helping all over the place, and like because Tristan was a really good player, but like offensively being able to throw the ball, post the basketball, and make plays because K-Love played more of the four. So, but I think a bigger center that can can protect the rim, can be dominant on the block. I think that would have helped us out a lot. But it was just when they got KD, like you blitz.
It wasn't fair. It wasn't
blitz Steph. Draymond's the best pocket. Catch the ball in the pocket, and now you got Klay and Steph. I mean, Klay and KD sitting in the court. Like, I mean, Eagle Dollar for the lob, Klay in his corner, KD in his corner. Like, what you gonna do?
And you still worried about Steph?
Yeah, like it was unfair.
So, what was it about Coach Blatt?
Right. So he's explaining. Ty Lue said we had the blueprint. We knew how to beat them. Draymond Green said the same thing. Teams figured us out. They had the blueprint. I mean, what else we talking about? Right? Let's open the phone lines up. And I need everybody that's up here caping for Golden State and Steph Curry to call in and explain to me how none of this makes sense to you. I mean, you got so many people saying the same thing. Even Golden State Warriors are saying the same thing. We needed KD. Admitting that the Warriors needed KD to get those 2 rings does not hurt Golden State's legacy or Steph Curry's legacy. Just admit the truth. Well, like, what are you trying to protect? It's the truth. They wasn't going to get nothing else. It was going to be a wrap. They wasn't going to get nothing else. Phone line is open. Phone number is scrolling on the bottom. Fancy, what's going on? Homegirl. I already got out my feeling to Mel, but in a respectful way. I don't want the team killer on the Dubs, and neither does Steph. The Dubs are my team, and Steph is my fave. Yeah, I mean, I get it. I get it, man. Like, Steph and the Warriors is near to dear to some people's heart. But if you learned anything about watching Man Down Sports, you need to learn that you can like the sport, you can and you can follow the sport without your feelings. And I promise you, it's a whole lot better if you could take your feelings out of it. Like somebody told me that if your feelings isn't in it, you'll never be able to feel that high of when your team win or when your favorite player wins, right? And they're telling me that since I don't have a favorite team or a favorite player and I just like basketball, they're telling me I'm missing out on that high. I get that, but I don't want that high though. Like my high came from playing basketball and winning myself and doing some of the stuff that I could do on the court. That's where my high came from, right? So I like, you know, and I understand we need fans and we need fanatics, because if people aren't emotionally attached to the game, they won't spend money, they won't invest their time in it, you know, watching the games and buying tickets to go to games and stuff like that and cheering. Like, you know, I would hate for all basketball fans to be like me, because we'll be at the arena watching the game like this, like when Bernie Sanders was sitting there with his mittens on, we'd just be sitting there like that, you know, because I'm not about to cheer. I'm not about to throw my hand up. I'm not about to talk junk to the opposing team. I'm not about to ask nobody for those autographs to sign. Like, I'm not going to do none of that. I'll be at the game watching, like, dang, what are they running right? Like, I'm observing that type of stuff, and then I'm looking at the referees and studying the refs. Like I'm really trying to figure some stuff out. When I I missed the call. You can call back. But I didn't see the call. I'm sorry. But yeah, I'm really, that's how I watch the games. I'm really trying to figure stuff out. So that emotional attachment that some people got, where they'll call and argue for a player because they love them. You know, like I got one guy that left a voicemail, like really like fussing me out about LeBron. I'm like, dang, like, you love him that much? He not gonna let you hit. Like, I don't understand. Like, you know, y'all simping for LeBron or simping for Steph, and in both cases, they're not gonna let you hit unless you go to a Diddy party. You go to a Diddy party, then you might have a shot. But I just don't understand why people emotions are attached to it. You know. Maybe somebody can call and help me understand, because I don't understand. We got a call on the line. Let me see if I can get him hooked up. Nino, what's good, brother?
What's going on, man?
What's popping, man? What's your thoughts?
Man, it's bad, man. It ain't you even. They got me rethinking how I look at Steph, man. It's not bad if you're a basketball man. And I want to say that, salute to you, because we actually need more people that talk about the game to be non-player. You can like players, of course, but don't really put the players over the game. And it's bad all in the media, if you ask me. They put the players, they root for players to lose based off who they like. They root for players to win, and they can't even really enjoy just basketball. Like, I bet a lot of people didn't even enjoy the finals, and there was some good basketball being played. So I like how you think it, if you ask me.
Yeah,
but I'm a basketball man too.
And I like what you said too, because you said that don't put the player above the game of basketball, and if you do that, instead of you getting offended by your favorite player getting critiqued or getting truth spoken about him just because you disagree with it or don't like how it's being said, instead of you getting mad at that, you would get mad at the players who disrespect the game, or you would get mad at the players who cheat the game, right? So, you know, if like everybody that was before this era was trying to do it in a way, you know, it was I ain't gonna say it was a rule or unspoken rule, but if you look at how they was doing it before, players got drafted, they went to their ball clubs, the great ones like Bird, Magic, Larry, those type, they got to their team,
right?
And the challenge for them was, can I build a team around me and go out and contend and win, right? And if I can, then how many can I win? And if I can't, then that means I'm not as good as those guys that can. So people like Charles Barkley, it's, you know, well, they kind of accepted their fate, but Charles Barkley toward the end tried to, you know, team hop to Houston and get him one. But, you know, I think that's good when your prime is over and you saying where
certain age, yeah.
right, when you realize that you can't do it, you fail. I can't do it the way Bird, Magic, and Mike did. So that obviously puts me in a certain category. I accept that. Now let me go. Before I retire, let me go team hop and see if I can get a cheap ring. I just want to feel how I feel. Right. But for these guys to give it just one try, the way that Mike, Magic, and Larry did it, and then realize they can't do it and say, well, I'm about to go join Wade and Bosh and just cheat myself into some rings. Now I can get the same amount of rings as them and be talked about in the same light. That's not true. You can't be. You team hop. They didn't team hop in their prime. They didn't cheat the system. They didn't go join their competition. They didn't do none of that. You know, Isaiah Thomas, when Detroit finally lost and that was done, Isaiah Thomas didn't go try to team hop on some other squad. He went on and retired. When I can't, like, you're supposed to have an ego when you're an alpha. If I can't do it as an alpha, I don't want to do it. You know what I'm saying? Because it ain't go feel the same. You know what I'm saying? It's just not. Right. So Isaiah had a wrist injury, and he said that wrist injury, that surgery kind of ended his career. But he was a young man when he retired. If he really wanted to, he could have said, man, let me go join Hakeem Olajuwon. He didn't have to retire, but Detroit was prideful about that. Detroit was his squad. And they got taken down by the Bulls, and they was like, all right, man, hey fellas, it's over. It's over. Go out with some dignity. You get what I'm saying? Like, yeah, like, you know, on the Titanic, man, the captain and the band was playing and going down with the ship. You know, if you're in the Navy or if you know anything about ships, that's like tradition. You know, you can't be a captain of a ship and put us in harm's way, and now the ship's sinking, and then you fly off on a chopper. The captain should be last one off the ship. The captain goes down with the ship. Right. But these dudes are jumping ship into another ship and leaving all the daggone passengers behind. It's disgraceful.
I can't disagree with you now. And I'm a Bron guy. I like Bron game, but I can't see this is different. What I'm saying, I can't deny nothing you saying now, because it's the truth. Now, if I think something ain't the truth, it's straight from a basketball opinion. It ain't from. Because at the time when he went to Miami, I didn't like it. But I really didn't like it because I didn't understand the pairing together. I didn't understand him and Wade playing together. I just didn't understand the whole move, period. Well, Bosh, okay, but Wade and Bron trying to play the same game. But they made it work for two. I don't know how, but they made it work for two.
These dudes ain't got no respect for the game, man. No respect for the people that came before them.
Yeah,
none, and it's disgraceful.
But I say this, my for what I was saying about Kyrie, y'all making me rethink Kyrie. I don't know from the way they talking. They don't know if Kyrie could, because the way Kyrie play, right, and Ty Lue kind of said it. He plays off the ball like a catch and shooter type of. That's when he's most dangerous. And I just watched the Toronto series when them guys got hurt, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm like, man, could Kyrie actually? I mean, say what we want to say about Wade. We seen him do it. We seen Bron do it. We seen Kobe do it. Of course, Kobe and MJ. Win with the ball in their hands from a one-on-one, a man in front of you position. Which don't take away from Kyrie, but I want to know your opinion. Could Kyrie win in that fashion? And the run around is his strength. He in great condition, so I ain't trying to take that away from him.
Yeah.
But could he win and be the same player with the ball in his hand effectiveness? Is he the same player in your opinion? The rest of the guys.
I mean, so we've seen. I'm getting an echo. You got YouTube on?
Oh, I cut that off.
Yeah, I'm getting an echo. Oh, hold on. Maybe my phone too close to the mic. I don't know.
Oh yeah, it was on. All right, it's off.
Oh, it's off. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm still getting it, but I go anyway. But no, I think Steph Curry in the Boston series in the finals, I think he showed what he couldn't do. Like what he did in the Boston series, he couldn't do against Cleveland years before.
Okay.
And then we seen it again, sort of the last two games in the Olympics. But I like, you got to take that with a grain of salt because you're on the floor with the best guys in the world, and so I mean, but what he did was phenomenal in the Olympics when they won gold in Paris. But Steph Curry was off the entire tournament. Thank God his coach was the coach of the team, because if that would have been anybody else, Steph Curry would have lost some of his minutes on how bad he was playing at the beginning, right? So he finally woke up the last two, get the silver medal game and the gold medal game. That's when he woke up. But that's a lot. I mean, that's a lot of games. That's a lot of rope that Steve Kerr gave him to be below average. He was below average the entire tournament. KD missed the first two games for some type of injury, but when he showed up and finally got there, they didn't even throw him in the starting lineup right away. But as soon as he got in the game, impact. He was the best player on the floor, hands down. And then it still took him a couple of games before he got in the starting lineup. I don't even know if he got in the starting lineup, but it still took a while.
He ended up like when the last two games when they needed him.
Yeah, exactly.
He ended up in one.
Yeah, so I mean, pretty much LeBron got the tournament MVP. He played every game and he was good in every game, so he deserved it. Kevin Durant missed a couple of games, but he was good in every game that he played. And I actually think he was better than LeBron. It's just the fact that LeBron played more games. And then Steph Curry, the last two games, was hands down the best player on the floor. Right. So that's how I saw it. But to answer your question, he wasn't able to do that against the Cavs and some other teams in the playoffs. But he had that ability against Boston, and he had that ability in those two matchups in the Olympics.
Okay, so you saying he got it now? Because I was wondering, because we seen Kobe go without the system, right? This is what I'm comparing it to. We seen Kobe go without the system, and they was losing, but I'm a team guy. So when Kobe was out for 81, they kind of needed it. The team kind of suck, if you ask me. That's just my opinion.
Yeah.
But you still seen this bad man. I just wonder, could he do it? I don't want to see him do it. I don't take away he have a good team. But with the ball in his hands, because you're able to run around them screens because the Draymond and Kurt's scheme, and they had Klay, they had another shooter over there. So that's why it was deadly.
Well, I wouldn't say that. He's been doing it his whole life, though. So I actually don't.
He did it at Davidson, though.
He did. I actually don't believe Draymond Green has to be on that squad for Steph Curry to do what he do. I think Draymond Green is instrumental because he's a big voice in the locker room, and Steph don't talk like that. You know what I'm saying? I think Draymond Green is like Steph Curry's voice and Steve Kerr's voice. I think Steve Kerr is it's just in my opinion, I think he's not that good of a motivator for real. Well, I wouldn't say that. When he's talking to you motivational on the sideline, because I've heard him mic'd up say some stuff to Steph when he was having a bad game, and he would say, "Hey man, when Jordan used to have a bad game, he would do X, Y, and Z, blah blah blah." So yeah, being a Curry whisperer is cool, but sometimes when there's conflict in the locker room, or when things aren't going as they should be going, sometimes you gotta jerk a knot in some people. He's not that guy. That's what
he ain't.
Draymond Green does that for the entire locker room, for the entire team. So having a leader that can't jerk a knot in nobody, and then having a head coach that can't jerk a knot in nobody, the only way to keep this team together is it's got to be a player that can do it, and that's why they're so afraid to lose Draymond.
So you do think Kyrie? I'm trying to see though. So you do think it could do what Kobe and them do on the ball without Draymond? The way I say this because Kyrie kind of play like Reggie to me. Like, I mean, it's just I'm not taking it away from him because it's a best strength to have. The conditioning that you got that it takes and the skill to be able to catch off the dribble. That makes Kyrie super, super, super more deadly to me.
Nah, for
Can
sure.
he dance all game? I don't know.
Yeah. Steph off the ball makes him very dangerous, and you know him with the ball is dangerous as well, but not like a Kobe or KD. It's being 6'6" and being 7
it
foot.
Helps him, yeah.
Yeah, that's a whole different thing.
So my last point, I'm gonna let you guys know you got people probably calling. We got this debate. Now I've been waiting for it to come up. I've been staying out of it because all of them, Kyrie, bro, Kobe, but always thought it was Bron and Kobe, bro. However you put it, I take it. I've never heard, and if you ain't biased, I know you ain't, but if your listeners ain't, in their prime, we know Kobe and Jordan, they didn't do it, but even in their prime, I never heard nobody switching over to Bron to play him one-on-one. This is what Kyrie up there with now. These guys. I damn sure ain't heard nobody switching over to Kobe to play one-on-one and saying you got advantage.
What you mean?
I ain't heard him do it to MJ.
What you mean? Picking on them defensively?
Yeah, Shump just said, and I will give him a pass if it was Bron. But this your position now. This Kyrie saying you don't want to guard.
Well, you know what?
Never heard that from Kobe them now.
I've heard it. Well, I watched it. Like in both of those series, Golden State versus the Cavs, Kevin Durant routinely seeked out LeBron James. Like Kevin Durant was on a mission to prove that he was the best player in the league. And he wanted to play LeBron James on that stage again because I think he felt like playing the Heat when he was, playing with Harden and Westbrook with OKC. I felt like he wanted to get back to that to show everybody who the best was, because at that time LeBron was better than him for sure. But he felt like he's arrived, and he was like, I just want to get back to the finals against this dude. And he was licking his chops, and every time LeBron was on him, he was making this man look silly. LeBron switched off every screen he could so he didn't have to guard Kevin Durant.
That's true. That I ain't saying that they ain't got cooked, but I don't know if that was their game plan to switch like how Kyrie said it. I don't know about that now, but I gotta go back and look at it because you might be right.
Yeah, for Kevin Durant,
I didn't even know they did it to Kyrie to Ty Lue said it, and I'm like, wait.
Oh man, bro, the entire series. So the way he explained it, remember, Golden State's motto on defense is to play small so they can switch everything. Right. So Draymond is a good defender on the ball. So is Iguodala with that def lineup. Iguodala. So is Klay. Everyone on the floor would be good defenders at that time except Steph. So what Ty Lue and LeBron and Kyrie was doing is saying they want to switch every screen. That's their defensive scheme. They don't fight over the screens. They don't show and go. They don't do none of that. They just switch. And since you want to switch everything, we just go keep setting screens until we can get Steph on Kyrie or Steph on LeBron. And then what you go do? Right. So that was their game plan the whole time.
Do I give Steph a pass for that? It is Kyrie now. We talking about Kyrie.
It is Kyrie for sure.
Oh no, man, that is Kyrie. I don't know how to.
Yeah, everybody can't do it. It's just Kyrie. Kyrie was cooking that man like clams.
Well, Kyrie get a pass because it ain't too many that gonna speak over.
Now,
I'm just loving the content.
But you got to give Curry credit now though, because he don't allow that to happen no more. His defense is a lot better.
It is.
So you got to give him credit for that.
But I think the weights helped him. The weights helped him. And that was Kyrie. I act like you don't know how to play D. That was Kyrie.
Yeah. But Kyrie was in his hip pocket though. When he guarded Steph, Kyrie was in his hip pocket.
Them boys locked in. I ain't gonna lie. But see now, man, I want you to be honest. It was some shady stuff that went on, but we got some great basketball out of the stuff you call shady. The Miami Heat series, that's some of the best basketball I ever watched, especially now people ain't gonna like it because it's the Spurs, so everybody don't like that kind of. It was kind of, and the Dallas played J Kidd, which might take. I ain't gonna say that. I ain't gonna get that started. But I got J Kidd number 3. I had him number 2. It was some great basketball came out of that.
Yeah, for sure.
Like all time great basketball.
For sure.
Yep.
For sure. All right, brother. I appreciate it, man.
That's all I got, man.
All right, man. Thanks, Nino.
All right, man.
Yep.
Okay.
All right, let's get one more call, y'all. Let's get one more call. Yeah, it is 4 a.m., man. I ain't gonna keep y'all long, dog. I gotta get some sleep too. Rich dog in here. What's up, brother?
Man, how you doing, man?
Man, what's good, man? What's your thoughts?
Man, I was about to take myself to sleep here. Then I saw you was going live. I was like, shoot, I gotta call in. But man, I'm notorious for joining the lives late. I see you have the Shay Sharp one up. So are you kind of like talking about how he was doing the interview with Tyronn Lue?
Yeah.
Okay. Just one of the points I remember. I don't know if you talked about this, so I apologize if I'm reiterating. When they were talking about if Jordan would average 45 points in this era, like if you just airdropped them in.
Yeah. I talked about that earlier.
I missed. I was.
Yeah, that episode dropped about 12 o'clock earlier today. Yeah.
Gotcha.
So what I played for everybody here is Ty Lue talking about how Kevin Durant is the reason why the Cavs don't have more rings. If they would have won more, Kevin Durant is the only reason. He said that he figured Steph and the Warriors out. He had the blueprint to beat them after they came back from 3-1. And he don't think that the Warriors was going to beat them unless KD showed up. And Draymond Green agreed. He said the same exact thing. He said that teams figured us out and it was hard for us to win. And if KD didn't show up, we wasn't going to win again.
I agree. I mean, the writing's kind of on the wall as well. They went out and recruited Kevin Durant because they didn't believe that they could beat the Cavs with LeBron and Kyrie again. I would say if you have the confidence, why don't you guys just run it back? They were nervous that they didn't think that they had the abilities and that LeBron figured them out that they can't beat them.
Mm-hmm. All right, that's exactly what happened. Why Golden State Warrior and Curry fans can't admit that? It's obvious.
It's obvious. You don't go and recruit somebody if you think like it went 1-1. Kyrie got injured the first time, so it might be they might have lost the first time if Kyrie and K-Love didn't get injured. Who knows? But
I agree.
They split the series. They split the series 1-1. So why not if you have the confidence to run it back?
Correct. Yeah, I think the Cavs would have won that first one if Kevin Love and Kyrie wasn't hurt for sure. But yeah. I mean, these people are delusional if they didn't think Kevin Durant came and saved their legacy.
No, he definitely came and saved him, but I do disagree. I wasn't a fan of Kevin Durant joining the Warriors. Let me tell you like this: I wasn't a fan of Kevin Durant joining the Warriors. At the time, because I was a big KD and Westbrook fan, I thought their team actually would have got better the next year when they acquired Victor Oladipo, but if Kevin Durant didn't join the Warriors, what's another team like in the West do you think would make like a big impact if you join him? Obviously, he'd make a big impact on any other team, but let's just say, like, for example, like if you join like the Spurs, like if you match up like him and Kawhi, or at the time with the Rockets, like him and Harden, like that would be huge. And I don't think he would have this like a collapse of like people hating on him if he did a decision like that.
The way Kevin Durant was playing at that time, any team in the West that was a contender or close to a contender, he would have made probably they probably would have went to the finals, right? And I always think that the easy low hanging fruit is that he already familiar with James Harden, and maybe he go to Houston and join James Harden, and they also still get CP3 at the time. That's a very good possibility.
Now, do you think with that move, you know how he didn't like the way the Thunder were playing, with sometimes Russ would shoot more than him, he would be taking the last shots. Do you not think that would happen the same way joining the Rockets? You don't think James Harden would be?
I think that play style is very flawed, but James Harden was playing at such a high level. I mean, because the Rockets was even number one in the West at least 1 year, right? So it was working. It just didn't work in the playoffs, and you just couldn't. For the same reason that how the Cavs figured out Curry to stop the Warriors. Teams was doing that in the playoffs to Harden. If we stop Harden, we stop the whole show, right? So adding a Kevin Durant would have done the same thing for Harden as it did for Steph Curry.
That's a good point. James Harden does have his disappearing acts, though, I would say.
Yeah, he does.
And just sometimes, like, his game is too one-dimensional for the playoffs. You basically know what he's going to do. He's going to do a step-back three, or he's going to try to drive to the hole. And then during the playoffs, they call less fouls. So he's not going to get to the free throw line as much. And his game style, when he, like, over-dribbles, that's really, like, tiring on your body. That's why he really doesn't play defense like that. Just his whole game style is tiring, and it's pretty predictable. So that's why just at times, I believe, he just doesn't perform well in the playoffs.
Yeah, I can see that for sure. And just like you said, they go allow more physicality anyway. So, and that was kind of his kryptonite. Him not getting his foul calls. You know what I mean? So, yep.
But hey, man.
What else?
Oh, my bad. What were you about to say?
Nah, nothing. I'm making sure you got everything out.
Oh yeah, no, that was really. I just want to make sure I could get in. Appreciate you taking my call, though.
All right, no doubt, man. I'll catch you on the next one.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. Last call. I think I had a missed call from Cali and a missed call from what was that other place from? There we go. That's the Cali number right there. Oh, yeah, it was a caller from New England, too. Caller from Cali, what's up?
Hey, what's up, man? Thanks for taking my call.
Yeah, for sure, man. What's your thoughts?
Oh, man, I missed your one show where you were talking about what you constitute as superstars, and you talked about super teams, right?
Yeah.
So I wanted to ask you, who do you consider, what's your criteria for a superstar, and give me some examples. We'll go from there.
My criteria for a superstar is any player that can successfully carry his team to consistent success. And consistent success to me is playoff runs. You know, like let's say you make the playoffs every year, but you getting put out in the first round. I think a guy that can at least make sure his team is getting to the playoffs every year is sufficient. Or let's say you make the playoffs and make a deep run, losing the conference finals or losing the finals. I think you don't need like 5 or 6 years of consistent playoff bursts if you can show me you can get all the way to the finals. So an example of that is Allen Iverson getting out to the finals. He's a superstar. He's a guy that carried a team as the number one option to the finals. That's a superstar to me. Or a guy who consistently has his team in contention in the playoffs, like a Patrick Ewing. That's a superstar, right? So when you make a guy number one and he can't do that, and he's got the opportunity to show us that, and he can't do it, then that's a clear sign that he's not a superstar. So an example of that, Give me a guy who has been the number one, but like I can't say LaMelo Ball is a superstar. The way he plays is phenomenal.
Yeah, I agree.
And he got superstar talent, but I can't give him a title of superstar if you can't even get your team to the playoffs. That's not a superstar. As a number one, right? Who else is a number one? Donovan Mitchell is a number one, and he's always had his team in the playoffs consistently. Utah Jazz and the Cavs. That's a superstar, right? So those are superstars, and I think at any given point in the league, I don't think we ever had more than 12 at one time. So between 12 and 10 are your top 10 to 12 players or your superstars.
All right. So I think I've heard you a few times on your shows where I'm not sure if you classify any players as all-stars. I heard you say superstars, but the one that a majority of your chat disagrees with you, including myself, is Kyrie. I don't feel he's a superstar. I think he's an all-star. That's where I've placed him, but I heard your criteria. And so why do you have Kyrie as a superstar? Go ahead.
He led a team as a number one successfully.
Wait, which team was that?
Boston.
Yeesh, I don't know about that, man. I don't know about that.
Yeah, but he did.
No, I mean, we can disagree there. He flamed out in the playoffs because he wanted to be the number one guy, right?
But he got his team to consistent success as a number one. Put a period.
But that's one team. That's one team though.
Put a period at the end of that sentence, and that's my criteria. Did he not have Boston with the best record in the league the first year he got there? I
wouldn't say
no. They had the best. They came out of the gates with the best record in the league until he went down with the knee surgery. And then when he came back the second year, went straight to the second round in the playoffs. And yeah, you're right. They did flame out. But my criteria is not, if you ever flamed out in the playoffs, you're not a superstar. My criteria is that he had an opportunity of 2 years as a number one in Boston, and he was successful both years leading that team as a number one.
Well, one thing I'd mention as more context to that, you got to remember those Boston teams were pretty loaded. I wouldn't say super on the brink of being super.
It ain't no such thing as a loaded team when your number two is a rookie and your number three is a second year player. There's no such thing as loaded when Tatum is a rookie. No. Tatum is a rookie, and Jaylen Brown is in his second year. And the number two that came over there that was the all-star hurt his knee very bad the first game, and that's Gordon Hayward. That team was not loaded. Come on, man. Let's just stop. This is feelings again. I don't like Kyrie for some reason, so I got to slight him. This is feelings.
No, I have no problem with Kyrie. I just don't think he's a superstar. That's just me.
But he meets my criteria though. You ask me.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah,
by your criteria.
Yeah, but my criteria, yes. Yeah, he meets it. And you asked me a question, why do you have him as a superstar? And I gave you the reason, and he meets my criteria. Now, if I didn't have a criteria, then if my criteria was, it just can't be him, because that's what it seemed like it is. Like, it just can't be Kyrie. Like, why Kyrie? It can't be Kyrie. Name a point guard other than Steph, and Luka's not a point guard. He's a small forward. So Steph, SGA, and Steph and SGA are the only point guards I can think that's better than Kyrie. And Steph is a debate. Right? So you name me the other point guard. If I'm a top 3 point guard in the league, I'm not a super. Name a point guard that's better than Kyrie other than the 2 names I gave you.
Let's see. If we're going based on leading teams to the playoffs.
No.
Oh man.
No. Just do your observation as a player. Name a player. Name a point guard that's better than him.
Okay. D. Mitch. No, that's a shooting guard. I'm stupid.
Yeah, he's a shooting guard for sure.
Let me see. Maybe John Morant. Let me see some. Let me think of some names.
You said maybe John Morant. Is that your answer?
Maybe. No. I mean, there's a debate for that, you know. But
it's not. It's not. The only flaw Kyrie got is getting hurt.
And defense. He's not the greatest defender, but he's not a poor defender either.
He's not a poor defender either. No. Right. So
he's okay.
I see people putting Trae Young in the chat. That's a negative. I see people putting Brunson in the chat. That's a hell no.
Yeesh.
John Morant. That's a hell no.
Let's see. Okay. How about Tyrese?
That's a hell the Indiana Pacers would trade Tyrese and Rick Carlisle for Kyrie Irving if they was the same age. Come on, man, get real, man. This man said it said Tyrese and these dudes in the chat talking about some Jalen Brunson. Y'all got to be kidding me.
We just don't see eye to eye, man. It's like we see Kyrie as an all-star, you know, like that's what
but you see Kyrie as an all-star, but you see Halliburton as a superstar.
No, I don't. He wasn't even the best player in my opinion on his team.
Of course. So right now you got SGA and Steph is the only two superstars at the point guard position.
You excluded Luka, so for now,
he's 1,000 pounds and 6'8". I mean, and he's just because you get somebody the ball don't mean they're a point guard.
That's just what he's listed as. If you don't want to call him a point guard, that's
he's not.
Fine. I'm
not
gonna bait you on that. That's fine.
He handled the ball as much as Paul Pierce and LeBron James at the small forward position. He's a small forward that the offense just give him the ball. Everybody get out the way. But that's a flaw. You know, when you got to get your 6'8" guy that's the slowest guy on the court, and he's out of shape and fat, and did I mention slow and needs a screen to get an advantage on the guy, and he's your point guard, and then your shooting guard is 6 inches shorter than him. That's a problem. That means that he's not good enough to come off the ball and still get his 25 points. Luka would impress me when he comes off the ball and be Paul Pierce the way he's supposed to be. He need to go watch Paul Pierce film. He need to go watch some big dog Glenn Robinson film. He need to go watch some Jamal Mashburn film. He need to give up this point guard hoop dreams because he's not going to win like that. What's going to happen is he's going to have some dope years like James Harden had. He's probably going to get an MVP playing like that. And then eventually he's going to phase out of that position. Like he's probably still going to play it, but he'll never be on a winning team playing it. He's just too big and slow. Like why? Like if you can't guard a point guard, why are you playing the point guard position on offense? That makes sense.
I hear you.
That's like being a quarterback, but you can't throw. You just run every play. Just be a running back. If you go shoot every play, if you go shoot 30 times a game, just be a off guard. Be a shooting guard, be a small forward. Let somebody else handle the rock. Let's go get everybody involved.
So, mind if I go back to something real quick?
Sure.
So, Kyrie's 2 seasons in Boston. That's good enough for you to establish him as a superstar? Just 2 seasons?
Yeah, cause he's got the superstar talent and superstar game. The last part of it is, do you meet my criteria? Can you show me that can you prove to me that you can lead a team successfully? Right. So once you do that, if you have the superstar talent, and I think you're a superstar, the last portion is now prove that you're a superstar. Like for instance, some people might. When Klay was in his prime, some people might say is Klay a superstar? Can he lead the team as a number one? But he never got an opportunity to be a number one on the team. So he never been able to prove it based on my criteria. Right. You have to prove it, right, to get the title. Right. So that's the last and LaMelo Ball has superstar talent as well, just like Kyrie had. But he has to prove that he can lead a team successfully.
I hear you. Situation matters. I agree with that. But I think most of us would agree that Klay even if he had the chance to be a number one, I really don't think he would be a superstar. I really don't. But like you said, we'll never know because he didn't get the chance, I guess, you know.
Yeah, I mean, we seen Reggie Miller lead a team with the same skill set that Klay got. Well, actually, Klay, I would say Reggie with the same skill set that Klay had was a number one and was successful. So you would have to give him in the 90s style era, you have to give him superstar status.
Reggie, yeah, I do. Yeah, definitely. Pushed the Bulls to 7 in '98 and then made an NBA Finals 2 years later. I'd say so, but I don't know. There's just something about the difference between Reggie and Klay. Like you said, there's a lot of similarities, but I think it's his consistent scoring that puts him at, you know, his ease. With ease, he scores, you know, that puts him at superstar, while Klay is at all-star. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I agree. But I mean, that's the beauty. That's the beauty in a guy being able to prove it. Because who thought James Harden was a superstar in OKC when he was a 6-man? I didn't. But when
nobody should. Yeah.
But he went to Houston and proved it, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. But
right. So
yeah,
you got to get an opportunity to prove it. I mean, some people think Brunson is a superstar, but who thought he was when he was in Dallas? You got to get proof. Michael Porter Jr., he's got a lot of talent. He's got an opportunity in Brooklyn to prove something. Can we be looking at somebody moving into that superstar range? It's possible.
Oh man, you crack me up about Michael Porter Jr. You really do, man. Like he's a cool player, man, but I think you hold him to a higher standard. The man had back surgeries, you know, early in his career, so like I don't expect him to be an all-star or a great defender. But that's a conversation for another day, though.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, the beauty in it is we get to watch and see. You know,
we'll see.
The great thing about me is I'm gonna tell you what I actually think. I'm gonna tell you what I actually think, and I don't mind saying it and being wrong about it.
That's good. That's good, man. I agree with you. If Michael Porter becomes whatever you claim him to be, an all-star or superstar in Brooklyn, I will come back on here and say.
Well, I didn't say. What I said is he has the talent.
Yeah, that's fine.
We don't know what he's going to actually be able to prove. I'm not projecting he'll be able to do that. But if he does, yeah, hey, that's gonna be something to see, something to watch.
Yeah, me and your chat, we'll agree to disagree on Kyrie. A lot of us think of him as a.
Well, let me ask you, why do you think he's not a superstar?
I think he's not a superstar because outside of Boston, he didn't lead his teams in the playoffs. Like he just didn't have good enough playoff performances, in my opinion. Like we just saw him in Dallas. Yeah, that's a bit off his prime. But I remember Luka got hurt in I think it was 2023. Luka got hurt in like February, and it was Kyrie's team, and they ended up missing the playoffs, right? So, you know, situation matters, as we always talk about, but he did miss the playoffs. And then obviously in Cleveland, he was a second option. That's still, again, situation matters. And then Brooklyn, that whole Brooklyn situation, you know, that was, you know, a bunch of it was him. It was Kyrie that was missing time because of, you know, the COVID COVID rules.
Let me stop, and then we go to each example you gave, but we'll do it one by one and be quick with it. Why?
I'll try, man.
Why does the Brooklyn situation factor into whether he's a superstar or not?
Are we talking about playoffs or the regular season?
Whatever you're talking about. Why does the Brooklyn situation factor in whether he's a superstar or not?
Well, they didn't win, obviously, and he got hurt in 2021. So you can throw that one out all you want.
Yeah, he got hurt 1 year.
And then 2022, we saw they got swept by Boston. So that's a knock on both of them.
So Kevin Durant isn't a superstar either.
Oh, he's a superstar, but
how long? Wait. So if Kevin Durant got swept by Boston as the number one, but he's still a superstar, but Kyrie is not a superstar because he got swept by Boston. All right, that's already a contradiction. All right, so but we'll stop.
Hold on. I'll answer your question. I got you.
Okay.
Did KD not lead his teams to the playoffs in OKC and obviously jumped on Golden State? Did he not do that before? Because
right,
he did.
which is the same thing
Right.
what Kyrie Irving did in Boston.
That's only 2 seasons, man, and I don't even still think
It was 2 out of 2 seasons. You had like it was 2 out of 7 seasons. You had like he had 7 opportunities to lead a team to the playoffs and only did it twice. He had 2 opportunities and did it twice. That's 2
like I said, that team. I'm not calling them a super team. I'm just saying he had a good support. You know, he had Marcus Morris, Terry Rozier, Marcus Smart.
Wait. So Kevin Durant didn't have great support in the OKC. Kevin Durant didn't have great support in Brooklyn. Kevin Durant didn't have great support in Phoenix. Kevin Durant didn't have great support in Golden State. Like, see, you're applying stuff to one player, and you're not applying it to everybody. So your criteria either don't exist or we can't really take it serious because you're not applying it to everyone equally.
It's hard to explain because we all established Kevin Durant as a superstar, and I'm telling you, like a lot of guys just put Kyrie at that all-star level. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to explain.
There's not a lot of guys that put Kyrie at the all-star level.
I'm telling you, bro.
It's not.
I'm telling you, everybody thinks. I won't say everybody. A lot of people think he's an all-star.
A lot of people like who?
Basketball fans. That's
like who? Like who?
People like you and me, fans of the game. I talk to, you know, whether it's on the streets or
I reject your deposit.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think. Yeah. We don't accept that here.
Read your chat. Ask them if they consider Kyrie a superstar and all-star. Just
let's
do it. Take a poll.
My chat has never swayed my opinion. So
that's fine.
I'm just
telling you, some people think that way.
but listen to it. I have a criteria that I can apply to every player the exact same way to see if they meet my criteria. Your criteria changes based on the player.
Let me add some more.
So the criteria you use for Kyrie, you didn't use for Kevin Durant. That should already tell you your criteria. Like we got to throw that. It didn't withstand scrutiny.
No, sir. KD has the MVPs, the All NBA first teams to back it up. Kyrie, I think he's only made an All NBA third team. I think at his best.
Kyrie was an All-Star his second year in the league.
That's great, but I think he only made All NBA 13. That's it. Nothing better.
And do you know why?
Tell me.
Because he gets hurt a lot. You got to be healthy to make the All NBA team.
That's true. So you're telling me he was hurt at least some portions of every season to not make an All NBA first or second team?
Huh?
You're telling me Kyrie was hurt for a portion of each season, so he didn't make an All NBA first or second team?
It factors in for sure, but I'm also telling you that's not my criteria of what a superstar is.
Yeah, you told me, but for me, that's why I hold KD and Kyrie to a different standard. KD is pretty much cemented himself as a superstar. Maybe not anymore. That's fine. But back in his prime, he was a superstar.
Sir, words mean things. You said you hold them to a different standard. That in itself, that sentence in itself is an oxymoron, right? Because a standard is just, is a constant, and everyone has to measure up to that standard. You can't have different standards for the same definition. So how can you hold them up to a different standard? Well, here's my superstar standard. KD doesn't meet it, but he don't need to meet that one. I have a different one from KD. That's what you said. You hold them to a different standard. So the standard for KD is a little lower to reach, but the one for Kyrie is higher. Is that how different the standard is?
Of course, we all have different standards. The first
that's
option,
that's not what a standard means, right? Like if we at the factory making 12-inch rulers, and we have to measure all those rulers against a perfect 12-inch standard to make sure those rulers are all the same. The standard can't be different. I can't have a 12-inch standard and then a 13-inch standard and say I'm measuring these two rulers against different standards. They have to be measured against the same standard. That's what a standard is. A standard is a perfect, or the closest perfect is possible for a measurement, and then everything we create off of it, we bounce off that standard. Have you ever worked in metrology before, or calibrated test instruments?
I have not. No.
Yeah. I did that for like 6 years. So everything we measure in every test instrument we calibrate, we have to measure up against a standard. If I have a gauge that goes up to 100 psi, I have this standard that has been calibrated and checked, and it's perfect. So when I put 100 psi out of this standard into this 12 gauge, that's perfect, as close as possible, 100 psi. So if my gauge reads 100, then it's close to the standard. If it reads 90, I need to adjust it. So a standard can't be multiple things when you're trying to get the same measurement. And the measurement is, what is a superstar? What's the standard for a superstar? One standard, and everyone has to meet it. My criteria is a standard. If you meet that criteria, then I'm calling you a superstar. Your criteria changes because you said it's different standards.
Yes, I critique each player differently. I have different expectations for each player.
That doesn't make
right?
make no damn sense. I got different expectations. I know
what they're capable of. Am I gonna hold
I have two police officers. They both are deputies, but I'm giving them different standards and expectations. One of them one of them have to wear his uniform and the other one don't. Like, come on, dog. Everybody has to have the same standard, dog. You can't. It's one criteria, is one definition. It's superstar. You can't have multiple. You can't cater it to the for each person. It don't make sense. Hey, well, my criteria for KD is this, but I got a different criteria for Kyrie, and then I got a totally different criteria for this guy. Bro, that don't make sense.
Well, like I said, KD is a superstar in my opinion. He's led his teams to the playoffs. Kyrie did too.
Kyrie did too.
Yeah, you only got two, and he has no MVP.
How many times? Okay, so only the people who got MVPs are superstars.
No, but they also have all NBAs.
All right, so why did you bring up MVP?
That's part of it. Like,
no, it's not part of it. You just said that you can be a superstar without an MVP, correct?
That's right. You can't.
All right, so don't bring up MVP no more. So we done with MVP. All right, so you said lead your team to a playoff.
I factor. I mean, it decides. I wouldn't say decides. It's differentiates Kyrie and KD. Was Kyrie ever top 5 in MVP voting? Maybe once or twice.
What you're describing is that KD is better than Kyrie. All superstars aren't equal. It could be two superstars and one be better. Michael Jordan is a superstar. You go tell me if you're not better than Mike, you're not a superstar.
I hear what you're saying there. I'm saying
all right,
there's a gap between superstar and all-star.
No, it's a gap between two superstars. KD's better than Kyrie. We can all admit that. That don't mean Kyrie's not a superstar.
It's by how much though. That's what I'm saying.
What's a superstar, sir? What's the difference between a superstar and an all-star?
Superstars are usually first options on their team. Can lead a team to the playoffs. Like
you said usually.
May or may not
you said usually, right? So what's the exception? You said usually they're number ones. What's the exception to them being a number one?
Well, they could go to a different team, like KD did to Steph.
Right. So like when Kyrie went to play in Brooklyn with KD, or when he played with LeBron, in Cleveland. So when you play with the first best player in the league, KD, and the second best player in the league, LeBron, obviously Kyrie and any other superstar is going to be the number 2. Even when Kobe played with Shaq, he was somewhat of a number 2, even though he still was a superstar and a number 1 in his own right. So it's certain guy. If you're playing with the number 1 and the number 2 guy, of course you're going to be the number 2 on the team. But when he goes to Boston, he's immediately the number 1.
He is the number 1. Yeah.
Dude,
how many? But
bro,
by how much?
Bro, I don't even know where to go with this, big dog. I don't know what else to say, dog.
he was full of he was better than those guys, and obviously JB and JT weren't what they are today. So yeah, he was the best one.
You just told me it was a stacked squad though.
Yeah, it was pretty good supporting cast. Yeah.
Yeah, a rookie and a second-year player, pretty good supporting cast.
It was Terry Rozier, Marcus Smart, Al Horford, Marcus Morris. It was a good team, man. I'm not saying it was a super team.
Terry Rozier is a role player.
Of course he is.
Okay, Marcus Smart is a role player.
Pretty good.
Marcus Smart is a role player.
Yes, those are in fact role players. But
okay, so you name a role. So don't name role players. Role players don't make teams stack.
How should I say by stack, man? I don't mean it as super. It's just like a good quality team. You know what I'm saying?
Bro, that's every team that a superstar is on.
Let me see. Not always. Was 2001 Iverson Sixers or 2018 LeBron Cavs?
According to you, yes. According to you, if you got good role players, then it's stacked.
Was JB and JT role players at the time?
They were a rookie and a second-year player too. There was a rookie and a second-year player. Let me ask you this.
I get that.
Cooper Flag was the number 1 option. I mean, the number 1 draft pick this season. You think he gonna be a role player on Dallas?
Role player on Dallas, yeah.
Yeah, as a rookie, exactly. Right. Name a rookie that wasn't a role player. LeBron when he came to Cleveland.
Magic count.
You can say Magic, yeah. Magic, LeBron, okay. Maybe Bird when he got there. We talking about the guys that are top 10 ever. Those guys come in and immediately can be the focal point of an offense. So you answer your own question. Was Tatum Magic or LeBron? Or was he just a rookie that was trying to figure it out like all the other rookies?
Okay, damn. Okay, I'll admit it. You got me there. I don't even know what Tatum's stat line was, but I know he played good in the playoffs. That's true. But like you said, he is still a rookie. Yeah, I can admit that, sir. You kind of got me.
All right, sir. Thank you for the call.
We can still disagree on Kyrie, sir. I'm telling you, a lot of people have a bad and all-star level.
Dude, I do not care about a lot of people, man. A lot of people got Satan as God.
Yikes. But you have Kyrie as a superstar. For that reason, I bid you a good night.
And a lot of people got Satan as God.
No, I bid you a good night, sir. I bid you a good night.
All right, dog.
Thanks. Later.
Yep. All right, last one. Who was that was a caller from New England, I think. You can call back. I've never seen that number before, so that might be a good call. Let me get one more call in. Yeah, I said I don't understand why like people get they get things in their mind that just has to be true for them for whatever reason. And for some reason, it's a lot of people who it just has to be true that Kyrie isn't a superstar. Like why is it so important that you pull him down to all-star level and say he's not a superstar? I've never understood that. I mean, this dude is as good as Steph is. Caller from New England, what's up?
Hey, what's up, man? This is Blood Coyote. I just wanted to hit a couple of subjects, state a couple of facts about the Game 7, 2016, because we were talking about how the Warriors wouldn't win without Kevin Durant. So I just wanted to hit a couple of those stats that were going on there.
Okay.
I'm a firm believer of narratives don't last, facts and footage does. Okay. So Draymond Green in Game 7 was the leading scorer of that for both teams in Game 7 when Kyrie hit that shot.
And how many points Steph had?
Steph only had 17.
I remember. And it was a bad shooting night.
Yes. And Klay had 14. And the funny thing about that whole playoff series is that Klay was the leading scorer in the entire playoffs. That was something that I just figured out today. And Bron, of course, LeBron, he had the most points in the fourth quarter in that Game 7, which he had 11. Kyrie had 5, but everybody knows that Bron couldn't close, so Kyrie went ahead and had that 5 points that took them over the top. And Draymond Green also led the entire scoring field twice in that series, which, is probably the main reason why he said that Steph wasn't ready to lead the team and get a bucket the way that he should have, because I don't even remember Draymond Green scoring this many points in the finals like he did. And that's basically all I wanted to say about that, because it's just, I don't know, like, people tend to forget these things. I totally forgot about how Draymond Green led the teams twice and all this type of different stuff.
Well, so you gotta chalk that up to a couple of things though. The game plan for the Cavs was to neutralize Steph Curry.
Right.
And when that happens, every screen that Draymond is setting, Steph Curry is going to get blitzed. He's going to get jumped. They was doing a lot of things to him, right? And Ty Lue admitted that, we wasn't too concerned about Iggy or Draymond as far as their shooting ability. So they got left open a lot. And they had a lot of opportunity to make shots, but that was by design. It's not because, like, man, we can't figure Draymond out. He just stopping us. It's like, we go stop Steph. Oh, Draymond, you scoring? Okay, yeah, we'll take that. Because they know in the fourth quarter, if it's close, they're not going to say, hey, Draymond, ISO. They're not going to do that. They're still going to go to Steph. And he's not going to be ready because he's off and out of rhythm. We've been making Draymond score all the points just to keep y'all in the game the whole game. And we know Draymond is not going to get the call in the fourth quarter in clutch.
Right.
It's a wonderful way to do it. And that's why people don't understand why LeBron could score so many points in the finals when he lost, and Kawhi and Iguodala can get an MVP for guarding him. But they got to understand that the game plan of San Antonio and the game plan of the Warriors was, we need somebody who can play LeBron one-on-one without us doubling. And we're going to live with how many points he scored as long as he don't get all his shooters involved. So if we get to stay home on the shooters, right, and you can guard him just enough for us to win, we'll live with whatever he can score as long as his assists stay down and the points for the others stay down. So everybody was like, oh, man, they gave him MVP, and LeBron averaged 35 on him. They wanted him to get those points. That was the game plan. That's why they got MVP.
Kind of like they wanted Draymond Green to score instead of Klay or Steph.
Correct.
And then another thing about this whole Kyrie is a superstar or not a superstar. I believe there was a time that Kyrie was a superstar, and that was one of the main reasons that led LeBron to the Cavs after he left the smoke from the Heat.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just, people, the Cavs would not have won that championship if it wasn't for Kyrie. He was scoring. He was playing good defense on Steph. He had the game-winning shot on Steph. There was no time. It's kind of off the subject. There was no time to me that who was that? James Harden was better than Kyrie. Kyrie has always been better than James Harden to me. And it's just because James Harden is not clutch. Kyrie has that clutch gene. That's why he's always leading fourth quarter points like he did when he was with the Mavs.
Mm-hmm.
So people tend to forget these type of things.
Yeah.
So,
I'm with you. Thanks for the call, though, man. I'm gonna move to this last topic, then we get out of here.
Yeah, no problem, man.
All right, thank you.
Good show. Keep it up.
All right.
All right, later.
All right, thank y'all for the call. Let's get to the next topic. So Ty Lue also talked about his time with Cleveland. I mean, we just got over the part where he was talking about the Warriors and KD and Steph and all that stuff, man. But the Cleveland piece is good too. All right, so let's start with the David Blatt piece of it. Now, I tried to find an article for y'all. I did a show probably about 2 years ago, and I was talking about I think this was when Kyrie might have still been in Brooklyn, and everyone was criticizing him for all the things that he did in Brooklyn and all this stuff, and they criticized him for taking that week off when it was his birthday, and the rumor was that Steve Nash didn't even know he left the team. And I was telling people, I was like, well, he must have learned that in Cleveland from LeBron, because it's the same thing LeBron did, but it's a difference in how people report it. Like Stephen A. Smith didn't get on First Take and air LeBron out for that. And the crazy thing about it is Brian Windhorst is the guy who wrote the article, and he was supposed to be a LeBron guy. So what ended up happening was LeBron took 2 weeks off from the Cleveland Cavs, and nobody knows why. And when he came back, as soon as he came back, they fired David Blatt. And so the speculation was that LeBron James was having issues with David Blatt. Well, actually, they was debating this on the show on ESPN in real time back then. So I mean, it wasn't guesswork that Blatt and LeBron wasn't getting along. LeBron didn't like David Blatt. That wasn't phony at all. So but the part that was a speculation is that did LeBron leave the team because he wanted David Blatt fired, and did he not come back until Dan Gilbert promised him that he'll fire him? Because as soon as he came back, they fired David Blatt, and then Ty Lue came in, and the rest was history, right? The reason why I bring it up, because I tried to find that article so I can show it to y'all, and the article isn't there anymore. Right now, there's a couple of sites that are talking about Windhorst telling that story, because I think he went on the Bill Simmons podcast and told that story, and I couldn't find the audio for the story either. I was trying to get this to bring it to y'all. I'll bring it to you another day, because I had already showed it on the podcast 2 years ago when I was doing this Kyrie Irving episode, but I got to find that episode in the catalog so I can find the I can't remember if I played the audio or if I showed the clip of the article. That article you can't Google it, you can't find the article anymore. But anyway, LeBron when he came back, David Blatt got fired, and LeBron seemed to be happy again, right? But he denied the fact that he knew anything about David Blatt getting fired. But you know, if you want to believe that, you can believe it. I don't, right? What I think happened is he didn't like something about David Blatt. They butted heads, and then LeBron quit and was like, I'm out of here. And he told them why, and they decided they was gonna fire Blatt, and then he came back, right? So here's Ty Lue talking about the David Blatt firing.
Was his message just not resonating? What was it? Because he did go to the NBA Finals. Y'all did make it to a Game 6, minus Kevin Love, minus Kyrie. I believe if you have those guys, we'll never, ever know. I believe you win the series.
I do too.
But we'll never know.
Right.
And then halfway through the season, it wasn't like y'all was in the 6th spot, T. Lue.
It was number 1 spot.
And they fired the coach. That's never been, well, maybe I think Milwaukee did something similar a couple of years ago with Adrian Griffin.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, I don't recall a situation of something like that happening. Was his message just not getting through? Was it just falling on deaf ears? Somebody go upstairs? Why would you make you're the number one seed? Can you change the head coach after you just went to the finals?
For me, I think he did a great job. And overseas, like when you coach overseas, you are the face of the team.
Right.
Like it's what you say goes, no matter what players there, you're the face of the team. And when you come to the NBA, the players are the face of the team. And so it's a different dynamic.
Mm-hmm.
And so just understand that dynamic that, as much as you want to go in and go crazy and cuss somebody out, you might can't do it today. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, I'm saying you just can't. And like his offensive system, was great. Like I wish I could run it today, like all the stuff he did, but like it didn't fit. With Bron, Bron's not gonna move like that. Kyrie want to dance, he ain't running around. Kevin Love's not a mover, and so it was just the offense they ran over there was different when he came over here. Now he's been successful over there, winning all the championships, and he's a great coach. And I thought it was great stuff that we were doing, but it just didn't fit our team and what we're trying to do. You know, and so I think guys got frustrated with the process and got frustrated with, how we did things offensively and defensively, because some of the stuff was different. Right. But there's nothing wrong with change if it works, and it was working. But it just, I think a lot of people got frustrated and didn't take the time and have the patience to really kind of wait for it. And that's kind of like where things got harder. So that was it.
All right. So he said a couple of things, right? He laid it out. He said, how could David Blatt come in his first year coaching this team? LeBron just came back. You got this young Kyrie, right? You're a successful coach overseas, run championships and everything, and you come over and you trying to implement the offense. And you get out to, you get out to a little slow start, but then you start picking up steam and you make it all the way to the finals and lose to Golden State in 6 without Kevin Love and without Kyrie. You lost Kyrie and Kevin Love. And you lost in 6. And the next season, LeBron is so frustrated with this dude for whatever reason. And now they got out to a slow start again that season. And LeBron is frustrated with him. And why? And then they fire him in the middle of the season. Why? Right? And Ty Lue's not trying to throw anybody under the bus, and he's not saying names, and he's trying to say it in a nice way. But what I heard Ty Lue say, first of all, he explained that David Blatt come from overseas, and in that culture over there of basketball, the coach is everything. Whatever the coach say goes. He said it's different over here. Over here, the player is the face of the franchise, and whatever the player wants, a lot of time he's going to get. Because when you think about it as an owner, I'm paying LeBron $35 million a year, and I'm paying his coach $5 million a year. If one of these guys or both of these guys are unhappy about something, I'm invested $35 million in this guy, and I'm only invested $5 million in this guy. This guy is more replaceable than this guy. So that's the dynamic here. So he said David Blatt comes over here coaching the same way he did over there, getting in guys' face, fussing them out, holding them accountable. And he said, that's just not how things go over here. So what I'm hearing him say is that one of the number one and number two guys, either LeBron or Kyrie, didn't like David, or both, didn't like David Blatt getting in their face and holding them accountable, which is a callback from what he was saying early in the interview and early in the episode I did earlier today. He's talking about how Phil Jackson with the Lakers would get on Kobe and Shaq the most, and he never really got on the role players during film session. So Phil Jackson coached that way that David Blatt was coaching, and LeBron James wasn't receptive to it. He wasn't that coachable at the time. So that was number one. Number two is the offense that David Blatt was running involved a lot of movement with the ball and all of that stuff, right? And he said LeBron wasn't trying to do all that moving. And neither was Kyrie. Kyrie liked to get the ball and go bop, bop, bop. Right? Which is what they was doing, high screen and roll all day long with Ty Lue. But with David Blatt, it sounded like David Blatt wanted the offense similar to what Golden State is running. It's good offense. That's winning basketball. LeBron didn't want it. LeBron wanted Bron ball. He wanted his system. So I think that was the clash. I think getting coached by David Blatt hard was a no-no for LeBron. And I think LeBron or David Blatt trying to make LeBron run his offense was a no-no for LeBron. Right. So I think that was the clash. I think he was like, I don't want to run this. And hey, look, he got to go. Why I think that's the case? For two reasons. One, that's exactly what he did in Miami when he didn't like what Spoelstra was doing. And Pat Riley was like, nah, hell no, we're not doing that. Spo staying. And then he went to D Wade and was like, man, can't you just tell Pat Riley to just come and coach? He said, no. I played for Pat Riley. You don't want Riles to coach this team. Trust me. Stay with Spo. That's what Wade told him. Right. So he already tried to get that coach fired. We know he got Darvin Ham fired. And now he's getting David Blatt fired. Right. So that's Ty Lue explaining that. That's very interesting.
Was it ever a situation that you had like, because it's hard because you got a LeBron, man, or any great player to like, bro, I need more from you. You got to give me more.
Yeah, halftime of Game 7. Yeah, halftime of Game 7. We come in the locker room and like this, we're gonna show film. So no, ain't no film. Like, so I came and said, Bron, what you gonna do, man? What you mean? So you gotta do more. Like, you gotta be better. Like, what you want me to do, Ty Lue? I'm like, because he had 20 points and might have 7 assists, but he left a lot on the table to me.
Right.
And this is Game 7. You're the best player in the world. I was like, we need. What you want me? I said, you got to guard Draymond better. Score the basketball, stop turning over, be aggressive. Anything else you want me to say? So he mad him up, right? So I go in the office, I slam the door. So later, after it was over, Damon Jones said, Bron came to him like, man, can you believe Ty Lue, man, call me out like that? That's some bull, whatever. D. Jones said, well, I ain't been here all year, but everything I read and you called and told me, you trust him. Why not trust him now? He's like, F you, so he go to James Jones. James Jones, can you believe Ty Lue? Man, I can't believe it. James Jones said, did he lie? So then Bron snatches Steph out of the locker, storm out. And shit, that's all she wrote. I mean, JR, but people understand, JR scored the first 7 points.
He did.
In the third quarter.
He did.
And then after that, because we was down 7. Mm-hmm. So JR scored 7 straight. And then after that, man, Bron, what he did after that was all she wrote.
So this is another example of LeBron getting coached and getting held accountable and getting told what he needs to do better. He's not that coachable, dog. Right? Like I said, I keep going back to the example of Ty Lue saying that Phil Jackson held Shaq and Kobe accountable for everything they did or didn't do. More so than the role players. He said film study was mostly about what Shaq and Kobe did and didn't do. Phil hold his player accountable, and you have to be able to be coachable. So it's a game 7, and you at halftime, and your coach is not liking what he's seeing, and all LeBron can think about is, I'm doing everything I could do. Get on them. And Ty Lue was like, nah, I need you to do X, Y, and Z. Name the things Ty Lue named, notice the things that Coach Ty Lue named are the same things that everyone criticized LeBron for slacking and lacking on. He said, I need you to guard Draymond better. We've all talked about his defense and his laziness on defense. He said, we need you to guard Draymond better. We need you to stop turning the fucking ball over. He's the all-time turnover leader. I think he leads the entire galaxy in turnovers. I know he leads Earth in turnovers. Nobody has more turnovers on Earth than LeBron James. And I've went to every bakery looking for those turnovers, and no bakery I found got more turnovers than LeBron. So on Earth, he's king in turnovers. The queen is Caitlin Clark. But if we search the galaxy for turnovers, I think LeBron leads the galaxy in turnovers as well. And Ty Lue was criticizing him in the game 7 for it. He said, guard Draymond better defense, stop turning the freaking ball over, and freaking score the ball. Remember when Dallas series and all that stuff, we was like, man, go score, dude. Like, score the ball. What are you doing? He had to tell this dude that in the game 7, but to James, with LeBron's credit, he actually made the adjustment and did it. But look what it had to take. Like, he's going to teammates trying to get validation that his coach is wrong, and his teammates was like, nah. I'm glad he went to 2 vets. That the vets was like, nah, dog. No lies detected, and the rest is history.
The chase down, and then Kyrie's 3-point shot.
Right. And so we called timeout, and the thing about Braun was exhausted. And so we get to the bench. I mean, he's done. So I'm like, shit. Kai, it's time to dance. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, we want to run pick and roll, you know what I'm saying? Because Klay was a great defender.
Right.
And like I said, Steph, to where he's at now defensive wise, like he took a huge step, and take pride in guarding, now. And so they had no weak links.
Right.
You didn't want Draymond. You didn't want Iguodala. Mm-hmm. You didn't want Klay. So I was like, well, we got to try to get Steph in action.
Right.
So, we run a pick and roll. Kyrie gets a switch. I ain't no gonna shoot a 3. You know what I'm saying? I ain't no gonna shoot a 3. And so he gets
that's his shot.
Yeah,
though.
yeah.
That side step 3, that's his shot.
So he gets to that right wing, he's dancing, and he shoots it. And like, man, like from that point on, I was just blacked out. Like, I'm saying, like once he made that shot, I blacked out. Like I remember K-Love, like, guarded Steph,
sitting in the chair on Steph,
guarded Steph. And I remember it was at the end of the game, we were up 4. Yeah, Braun gets fouled. We up 4.
I think the thing.
Right. So the reason why I played that is because he's taking you through that shot and the thought process. We already kind of talked about that in the previous segment. But he said that LeBron, now mind you, at halftime, he had to tell LeBron to play better defense, stop turning the ball over, and score the ball. So what it sounded like is LeBron was really not leaving it all on the floor. If you got to be told to turn your defense and intensity up on Draymond Green in the game 7, he wasn't leaving it all on the floor. If they would have lost that game, he would have had something left in the tank, right? Empty your tank out, right? You want to win. So it sounded like LeBron made the switch after halftime and emptied his tank out, so much so that in the 4th quarter, when they called that timeout for that last shot that Kyrie hit, he said LeBron was exhausted, which explains why he told Ty Lue, let the kid take the shot. LeBron either didn't want the shot or couldn't take the shot. But imagine putting that much effort on defense and that much effort on scoring. It's tiring you out like that to where you ain't got nothing left in the final moments of the basketball game in the 4th quarter to take the final shot as the team's best player. And I want you to compare that to Michael Jordan, who didn't have another guy that you could just throw the ball to and spread and go one-on-one and take the final shot. It was always MJ. for 6 rings, it was MJ. Well, more than that, but just for the playoffs and the finals, for 2 3-peats, when a shot needed to be taken like that in the fourth quarter, MJ was your guy. Unless he passed it to Steve Kerr to hit it or something like that. But when it came to, all right, give somebody the ball and everybody get out of his way, it was MJ every time. Imagine the luxury of having a guy that can give you 40 in the finals and also take the last shot and hit it. That's a heck of a luxury to have. That's one heck of a luxury to have. It's a lot of guys who got that luxury. Kobe didn't have that luxury. You can't get the ball to Shaq and say, take this shot. They go foul his big fat black ass. You go take this shot from the free throw line. You big ogre. Who else go take it? Who else you go get the ball to and say, get out of the way? Ron Harper, Brian Shaw, D-Fish? No. It's going to be Kobe. Everybody didn't have that luxury. Bird didn't have it. When you look at the top 10, LeBron seemed like the only guy who always got that. It could be Wade. It could be Ray Allen. It could be Kyrie. It could be AD. It could be Luka. I always had that luxury.
As he finishes up in LA, I don't think he's done after this year.
No,
I don't think he's done.
No.
I don't. And the thing is, T. Lue, I was talking to somebody the other day. I said, if you play 24, you might as well go and get that 25.
Yeah, he's not done after this year for sure.
But I think he wants to set that record out there. He wants to set that record out there. Ain't nobody gonna get it.
They can't catch it.
Because KD, he thinks KD is the closest, but KD is 10,000 points away. That's 10,000. So if you average, that's another 7-8 years. That's right now.
Yeah.
LeBron plays another 2-3 years. That thing gonna be at 45,000 points.
Yeah. I mean, it's gonna be hard to catch that. I don't see nobody.
Because you have to play a lot. You have to have sustained greatness. Because nobody thought Kareem stay healthy.
And health. I mean, I think he's gonna put it out of reach where it's gonna be hard to get there.
Did you guys try to trade for Paul George when you was in Cleveland?
Yeah. When he was in Indiana.
And why didn't it happen?
I don't remember.
Damn.
Yeah, we tried to get him.
PG, LeBron, and Kyrie.
Ooh.
That might have been enough. That might have been enough to come back.
Yeah.
Because now you can throw LeBron. I mean, obviously you let PG start with him, and then you can have LeBron, but you still got guys. Now you got 3 guys that can really score the basketball.
Yeah.
LeBron, Kyrie, and PG.
And K-Love can score. Yeah.
So that might, man.
We tried.
Damn.
Ooh. So 2 things. Number 1, he said LeBron's gonna try to play long enough to where he can get that, and he's thinking KD can catch him. If LeBron would have got Kareem's record and retired that year, KD could have played another 5 seasons and eventually got that number 1 spot. So it appears that LeBron is continuing to play for the record book. In his mind, I think he want to, like what Shannon said, he want to push the record out so far that no one would ever catch it. Now, I'm torn between how I feel about that, because on one end, I mean, if that's what your heart desires to have that record forever, I mean, who are we to say don't do it? Like, that's what your heart wants. You want that record. Sure. If your body is going to continue to let you play, I mean, why not? I mean, I know people in the Navy that won't get out because why? You get what I'm saying? If they go keep letting you stay in and you keep making rank, yeah, cool. You want to stay all with the 30? Cool. Right? I don't know why we would. In my mind, I'm like, dude, get everything you need to get out of it and get out of there and start your life as a civilian. That's what I think. Get in and get out, when it's really convenient. But like overstaying your welcome just because you can is really not my style. But at the same time, I can't knock a guy for doing it. So that's one thought process, right? But the other side of my brain is like, dude, why? Why is that so important? Why is it so important for you to have that record and stretch out as far as possible? Like, you know, the thought process, like if you think about all the great scorers, Kobe, Mike, Melo, you know, all these great scorers, Dirk. I don't know not one of them that was like, oh, man, I want Kareem's record. And then when I get it, I wanna play so long that nobody else would ever catch it. Like imagine that's your thought process, right? And imagine a player being compared to Kobe and Mike, and Kobe and Mike's thought process is, I want to dominate and I want to compete and I want to win as many rings as possible to show everybody that I'm the best. And then imagine saying how those two people think, and then comparing them to a guy that's saying, I'm still playing because I want to keep getting, I want this record to grow as far as possible so nobody can come and get it. Like he's lacing them up. His motivation for lacing them up every night is I get to add 27 points to this record. That's his motivation. Like every time he look at the calendar and see a game, he be like, well, that's 25 I can put on there. Put 25 back on that record, add that 25 to it. Like we know one of his motivations was playing with Bronny and catching Kareem. Now he's motivated to push the record as far as possible so somebody can catch it and possibly play with Bryce. That's his motivation. I think it's pretty lame. I honestly think it's pretty lame, right? But nonetheless, phone lines are open. Once again, 3 or 4 calls, and then we're in the show. Let me see what the comments are saying. Roy said if it was me, I wanted all the rings and records. That's tough, man. That's tough, man, because the thought process of playing for record is counterproductive to the thought process of playing to win. Like, how can, like, I don't know if it's possible for me to think about both. Like, I don't know if I'm playing to win and my competitive edge is on high and I want to win. I'm thinking about two things. I'm thinking about stopping you. Like I'm competing against you in every way. So I'm trying to stop you on defense, and I'm trying to score buckets on your head. But I can't add in there a record. I can't have that thought process in my mind. I want this record. Caller from Texas, what's up?
Man, bro, what's wrong with you, my nigga?
What's
wrong with you, bro?
What's your thought,
bro? What's wrong with you, bro?
What's your thought on the topic?
My thought process on the topic, nigga, is bro, all this gossip girl shit, bro, it don't make no sense, bro. Like, I'm just being 100, bro. Like you ain't even talking about basketball, bro. You get into what Ty Lue said and all that. You be trying to paint the picture you be painting, bro. It be so wet, bro. Like you can't even help yourself. Like that's the crazy part about it. You claim that you're a fan. You just a fan of basketball, bro. But bro, if you just a fan of basketball, bro, why you be so cognizant on trying to take people championships away? And then you just said I just heard you say that like I guess like playing for stats, right? It's the polar opposite, nigga, for than playing to win. So if that's the case, bro, why you don't hold everybody to that? Because what was Kobe playing for, nigga, in 2004?
I don't know. You tell me.
Bro, you know what he was playing for, bro.
In 2004?
Yeah, bro. Yeah. I told you earlier, nigga, if you ask me, 2004, nigga, is worse than 2011.
Refresh my memory.
Refresh your memory when Kobe was playing for stats
in 2004.
In 2004 when he was trying so desperately to get a Finals MVP. Instead of feed Shaq, I heard you say earlier that they ran Shaq off the floor. Bro, stop lying, bro. Bro, Shaq was averaging 28 points a game, nigga, on 60% shoot, nigga. Kobe was shot checking, bro. You need to stop that, bro.
You know, being ran out the floor is something that's referenced toward the defensive end.
I know it. Yes, I know what ran out the. I know what that mean, bro. I mean, get the ball out the net, bro, and push it.
All right,
I know what they mean, bro.
And they did that.
No, they didn't.
They did that.
Bro, how you getting ran off the floor, bro? When you the best player. That's what I'm saying, bro. You frame. So what I'm saying is that okay, frame us. Tell us how Kobe played.
Well, let me explain to you how Shaq got run off the floor. Larry Brown's philosophy and his game plan was to use Rasheed Wallace, who was a track star in high school, right, and who had one of the fastest 40 times at Carolina on the basketball team. He's a runner. He runs like a deer.
Come on, bro.
Right. So he was using Rasheed Wallace and Ben Wallace, and they was sprinting off missed shots. Right. And Shaq had to contend with that. And then they also used guys like Memo Cole around the 3-point perimeter to pull Shaq out of the paint, and they was using Shaq in every screen and roll, and Shaq didn't want to guard them screen and rolls. So in the half-court offense, Shaq was involved in screen and rolls, and then off missed shots, Rasheed Wallace and Ben Wallace was running. Do you think Shaq at that size, 330 pounds that year he was with the Lakers, do you think he could run with either one of the Wallace boys?
Yes, I do.
Man, get off my phone. All right, man.
I do.
All right.
I don't think Ben Wallace can outrun Shaq, bro.
No, I bid you good night.
You just said
I bid you good night. Ain't no way in the world you about to tell me that daggone Shaq could run with the Wallace boys. We sat down and watched the series. We watched the series. That was Larry Brown's game plan. Like, I mean, like, why would I sit here and listen to somebody saying Shaq can keep up with Ben Wallace and Rasheed Wallace that year? That year. How much did Shaq weigh that year? That was the heaviest Shaq ever been. He was getting destroyed. He was getting destroyed. They got beat 4-1. And you talking about he didn't get ran out the floor because he averaged 28 points. Man, get out of town. You gotta be smoking that Zaza Wade or something. You gotta be smoking that Zaza Wade. Or smoking dick or dog food, something. I don't know how you say that Shaq wasn't getting ran out the gym. Absolutely getting ran out the gym. Next caller. Who else got something to say about LeBron? Oh, and then on top of that, Ty Lue said, yeah, we tried to get PG-13. So I did a show where we found out that LeBron was trying to recruit CP3 to Miami Heat so he can have CP3, Chris Bosh, Ray Allen, and Dwayne Wade and LeBron on one squad. Now we found out they was trying to get PG-13 in his prime to add to LeBron, Kyrie, and Love, and J.R. Smith, and Iman Shumpert. So a super team wasn't okay for LeBron. He wanted a super duper quadruple King Cooper team. This man don't want to compete. Man. It's crazy. I guarantee you LeBron probably has fake replica rings so he can have 7. Like the rings that he thought he should have won, like out of those 10, I think he still got made. He's so insecure. I think he still got rings made for those finals losses he got. The ones that he think, oh man, I think I should. I played well enough to win this one, so I'm gonna give myself a ring. So I think secretly LeBron got 7 rings at his house, one more than MJ. I honestly do, because that's how his brain works. His brain works like that. Like, oh man, that one right there made me the GOAT. Like he thinks like that. Like he'll take something like that and say, oh yeah, this made me the GOAT right here. So I really do think he'll take his brain there to be like, man, nah, man, I averaged too many points not to win that finals, man. So even though the Golden State Warriors won it, I'm gonna get my ring made. I'm gonna get a ring made for that year. So I think he got a ring for the Warriors loss. I think he got a ring for that San Antonio loss that they got blown out in, and I think he might got a ring for that Dallas Mavericks loss. I think he made 3 rings that he thought. Now he can't get one for that Dallas, man. He averaged daggone 11 points in that joint. Nah, he can't get a ring for the Dallas one. So he might got 6. He might got 6. That's how he think, man. That's how he think. The delusion is real. Caller from Cali, can you hear me? Caller from Cali. Hello. We can take one more phone call, then I'm out. Caller from Cali. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with your phone. Yeah, I guess it. All right, y'all. That's the show. Appreciate y'all for calling, man. Make sure y'all hit the like button. Appreciate all the callers that call in. Appreciate all the comments. No super chats tonight, but that's cool too. We'll catch y'all later today with 4 Panel Friday, man. We got good topics for the night. So appreciate everybody for being late night with me, man. I catch y'all on the next episode. Peace.